Good morning, guys. Today we're going to talk about living with no fear. I learned the hard way. I spent my whole life fearing everything. I feared getting on a plane. I feared letting my kids go on a field trip. I feared my kids spending the night with their friends. I mean, I was very overprotective. And I got it honestly because my dad was the worst. Me times 10. Anyway, I have to tell you about my premonitions. And I don't want you to think I'm weird because I never told anybody about this simply because I didn't want anybody to think I was weird. Not even my family. I would say twice a year I would have this thought just flitter through my mind. And sure enough, a few days go by and there it is. And I went, I thought about that a few days ago. But I usually kept it to myself. One day, I was putting flowers in a window box. And we lived in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of 32 acres, and very seldom had company coming down that long driveway. But as I was putting flowers in, I saw my Aunt Faye driving down our long driveway. And I thought, there's no way she's coming to see us. I mean, she's in her 50s. She never comes to see us. She's actually 94 now and doing well. But anyway, I kept planting my flowers. And I heard somebody coming down the road. And I turned around. Sure enough, it was my Aunt Faye. I mean, things like that, all my life. Well, about 9 to 10 years ago, I started thinking about my grandson Kurt dying. And I would put it out of my mind, and that's just me worrying, don't think about it. But every couple of months, it would come back to me, into my mind. And I would go, oh God, please don't let that happen. Please don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. This went on for at least 2.5 years. And I thought, well, that's just something I've got in my mind and I can't get rid of it. Anyway, every now and then I would have to pick him up after baseball practice, as his mother was an interior painter and she was painting, and I would run pick him up. And on the way home one day he said, Gran, I am having this dream, and I have it all the time. And I said, tell me about it. He said, it really scares me. And I said, tell me about it, Kurt. And he said, I see this black hole, and I'm riding my bike, and I run into it. And that's the end of it, but I have it all the time. And it scares me. I said, oh, Kurt, you don't need to fear anything. You're not supposed to fear anything, Kurt. Here I am telling him not to fear, when as he was telling me that, it was like somebody poured cold water over me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's having thoughts also. So I grabbed his hand. We were driving home, and I said, let's pray about it, Kurt. So he closed his eyes, and I'm still driving, and I'm talking to God. Please, God, take this away from Kurt, because it scares him. Don't let him have that dream anymore, please. So a couple of months went by, and he walked up to my house one day, and he said, Gran, I was going to tell you that I do not have that dream anymore. I said, oh my God, that is so good, Kurt. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that that's taken away from you. You don't have to worry about that. Well, as he would ride his bike on our country road, mean, it's paved, but there is very little traffic. I would keep worrying about him getting hit by a car or something like that. And I cautioned him to be careful. If he saw a car coming, pull over and stop and wait for it to pass, that kind of thing. And then as he would go to school every day, I would see him leaving for school. I had long windows in my house, and I could see every which way. And I would see him leaving, and I would pray Psalms 91 over him every day, because of all of this. So, one Sunday afternoon, he and his mom, and I know, if you've seen any of my videos, you already know this, but in 5 days, it will be his birthday. He would have been 23, but he only lived to be 15. He and his mom had gone to pick up something in town, and they were hit by a drunk driver head on, and Kurt didn't make it. So I was thinking, and I didn't think about it at first, about my premonition. I was just so devastated. How could I think about anything else? And I'd never told anyone this. Of course not. How could I? How could I tell anybody that I thought Kurt was going to die? How could I do that? I wouldn't have. I kept it to myself. Anyway, all those years I spent worrying for nothing, because he was going to die. He was absolutely going to die, and I couldn't do anything about it. So why did I worry all those years? I asked God, what did that premonition do for me? Did it lessen the pain? No. Did it prepare me for the shock? No. Why did I have that? And I pray all the time, please, no more premonitions. Please, don't let anything enter my mind. Please, I don't want to know anything. So anyway, I'm just telling you that all the worrying that you're doing is for nothing. You are wasting your brain matter on it. You could be doing so much more. I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. I realize that everything in this world, almost everything except what I do day to day, everything is out of my control. I have no control over anything. So I decided, why fear? It came to me so simply that I did not have to fear, that I could live without fear. And I'm telling you, I learned it the hard way. And I certainly don't fear death. I get to be with my Kurt again, and my parents, my grandparents. I can hear my dogs barking outside. They must see a car coming. Okay. When Kurt first died, I wouldn't allow any joy to come into my life. None. Probably until I had my first great-granddaughter did I allow joy in. I was not looking forward even for her birth. I'm being honest, because I knew I would be happy about it, and I did not want to feel that happiness. But I've gotten over that, because I do feel joy when I'm around her. She's so precious. I have to tell you about a dream I had, which I think really happened. After Kurt died, you can imagine the nights were torturous, trying to get to sleep, trying to stay asleep, and then waking up and being just hit with it, like hit with it, was devastating. So one night, I saw Kurt in my dream, And I just ran up to him and said, "Oh, Kurt, I've missed you so much." I mean, I turned him every which way, around and around, kissing his shoulders and kissing his neck and loving on him. And he just did exactly what Kurt would have done had that been real. He just hung his head down and smiled the whole time, thinking crazy grand, you know. And I immediately woke up. I immediately woke up and started smiling. I felt wonderful, wonderful. I had been with my Kurt. I had been with him. I knew it. I could feel him. I knew I had been with him. Whether it was a dream or not, I can't tell you how much that helped me. And I thank God every day for that dream. For that dream. I go back to that dream a lot. People ask me, you know, I live in a tiny house. I live next door. I sold my house, moved over here in a shed I had in my backyard, redid it, love it, love it, love it. People said, "Is it not hard for you to give up your home and move into your shed?" And I said, "No, it was hard giving up Kurt. This was not hard. This is what I needed to do." You have to judge what's hard in your life. The hardest lesson that I've ever learned is knowing that right now everything is as it should be. Everything is as it should be. That's been my hardest lesson. I have no control over anything. I have relinquished my trying to protect everybody. I have relinquished control over everything. All I have control about is what I do inside this home on a daily basis. That's it. I live much better not worrying about everything. You can do it. You have to work at it. I wish you'd comment below if you've ever suffered anything remotely like this, because us speaking about it, talking about it, it's going to help all of us get better and heal from all of this. Thank you for listening to me today. Thanks for being here. I wish you'd subscribe to my channel so I can keep doing these videos. I enjoy telling you things. Got much more up my sleeve. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time.